What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hardwood Rundown podcast. We are episode 6 of our off-season series. We're doing our season previews, going division by division. This is our last one for the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic Division. We've got the Celtics, Sixers, Knicks, Raptors, and Nets. If you haven't been following our criteria that we preview, is MVP, impact player, rising star, and projected record, so like ceiling and floor for each team. Yeah, let's go. I'm joined by the one and only
You know how it
Radowski.
is. You know how it is. Yeah, what's good, everybody? Yeah, super keen for this one. This is actually one of the more like underrated divisions, I think. I feel like there's a few teams that kind of fly under the radar. Two teams, actually. I feel like there's the other three kind of playoff teams. Anyways, I think to start off with, we were just talking about this off camera, but we'll start with the Brooklyn Nets. I was saying this is a really exciting team next year. I feel like, well, next season. I'm the type of person that banks on a Ben Simmons comeback. So far, it hasn't been that good. But I was actually listening to the Mikal Bridges podcast with, podcast P with Michael Bridges, Mikal
Michael.
Bridges, and
Hey, Michael
oh
from
my
accounting.
god, Michael. Yeah. Anyways, the way he was talking about Ben Simmons, I feel like gives me the confidence that he can kind of come back because he's got that. He obviously had the back surgery. Maybe the fact that he couldn't speak up about the back surgery earlier hindered his confidence, and that he couldn't get back to full form because people were still saying all these things. I feel like having the surgery, kind of having that excuse out the door, can kind of help bring him back to full form. Potentially with a jump shot, but we know what Ben Simmons is like. He drains them in the offseason and then doesn't shoot them in the regular season, as per Philadelphia 76ers fame.
Mm.
My MVP, I think one's quite obvious. I'm going Mikal Bridges. This dude can average 25 on any given night, and it'll kind of tie into my wins. I'm kind of banking my wins on a Ben Simmons comeback and a Mikal Bridges 25 a game. I know it's a bit of a stretch. I feel like, but like since he's been there, he averaged like 28 a game or something ridiculous.
Yeah, fuck
Consistent
me.
40 bombs, consistent 30 bombs. I feel like a whole season under his belt where he's the number one option. I feel like you'll really see him flourish.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere with that type of
Mm,
season. Like always, like probably the best role player in the league before he got traded from the Suns. And everyone loves him because he really wanted to
yeah,
stay in Phoenix as well. I was
yeah, I
told
know.
that was really tough, man. They had to make a choice, but
Mm,
yeah, MVP Bridges, impact player, Cam Johnson. Um, I think he's super solid and
yeah,
a very underrated piece of when he was on the Suns, but also a great piece on the Nets.
yeah,
He can he has an opportunity here to cement himself as like a 20-point scorer. I think
100%, 100%.
has every ability to do so, and so really, I'm really excited for Bridges and Johnson to be like a really solid wing duo, and this
Yeah,
team has like a lot of heart. You saw that in the Sixers series, like definitely more heart than the Sixers team have.
yeah,
And just showed up regardless of them getting swept. Like they just showed up. Um,
yeah,
just so good to see. And then I didn't really know. Rising Star was like I put Mikal Bridges because now I'm really deciding to see how he's going. What about you?
yeah. So impact player, I went Cam Johnson. I feel like that one was pretty obvious, but I
Mm.
also feel like again Ben Simmons, like he could be the impact
Yeah.
player if he can average honestly like 10, 7, and 7 or something like that. I feel like that's slowly getting back to where he was.
Mm.
Um, he
Good
showed in
enough.
glimpses last year that he can kind of do it,
Mm.
but just the consistency part. But yeah, Cam Johnson, I feel like he would be like the second or third option. You would think Dinwiddie as well is
Mhm.
there. Um, so yeah, definitely take on more of an offensive load, and I think he's got the skill set to kind of do it. He's sniper from deep. Showed a bit of slashing, kind of when he's got to Brooklyn because he's taken on that role a bit more.
Mm.
Rising star Nick Claxton. This guy's going to be a defensive player of the year candidate, I
Wow.
believe. Elite rim protector. super
Yeah.
athletic. Just reminds me of DeAndre Jordan a little bit when he was in LA.
Mm.
But yeah, I definitely think he could easily average like, I don't know, 12, 14 points a game and like 9 rebounds and 2.5 blocks, something
Mm.
like that. I feel like he could definitely win Defensive Player of the Year. He'll be an All Defensive player. You saw glimpses of it last year. He definitely gave Embiid problems. I kind of feel like that shows the rest of the league that he can stick with those high offensive efficient kind of big men who are also dominant. So I feel like, yeah, next
Mm.
year is going to be big for him. And I feel like they're putting more trust in him now that like Kyrie, KD, James, they're all gone now.
Mm.
So I think he's got a bit more of a not more pressure, but just more reliable. They're more going to be more reliant on him on both ends of the floor.
Mm. Yeah, it'd be interesting if he can develop a bit of a jump shot. His free throw percentage is woeful, but
Yeah, not
yeah,
very
like
good.
if he can do that, he's less of a liability offensively. He's already a great lob option. And if you can just get like a
Mhm.
little mid range, he's
Yeah,
already super athletic. So you bring a big man out of the paint who's guarding him, and then he can kind of go to do what he wants.
yeah,
But yeah, I got I got 38 wins because I think obviously, not having Katie, I still think they're going to be the best underdog team in the league. They give me Pacers
mm.
energy of just being young and
Yeah, definitely.
hungry. I think they're getting a super like underdog. They're gonna challenge a lot of teams this year in late game situations, and like there's gonna there
Yeah,
Nets are gonna be the subject of a lot of the best games I think this year,
I
just
agree.
because
Yeah,
they fight, but I don't think they have the talent to get above 40 wins. But
yeah,
Ben Simmons able to come back. I didn't factor him in my thing at all.
yeah,
I'm thinking a whole nother season of him not playing or not not at his best. But if he is at his just playing decently, like they are 100% a 40
yeah,
win team. There's no doubt about that. So,
100%.
but yeah, you had four, you had
Yeah,
something? You had something?
I've got 44. Um, it really does remind me of like the D-Lo Nets, that kind of vibe
Mm,
within the whole team. I feel like it's a really positive vibe, really fun vibe.
yeah.
Um, and they've got some dogs on that team as well.
Mm,
They signed Dennis Smith Jr., who's going to be their backup point guard, who had a really good kind of
yeah.
like comeback season last year for the Hornets. He got a lot of starting minutes with LaMelo out.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, I don't think 44 is a stretch. I think that's definitely their peak. Like I don't think they can go anywhere past that. If they get 40 wins, that's a good year.
mm,
Um, if they get like a 9 seed, that's a good year. But I really see them in that like kind of 8, 7 spot. I really don't think they've regressed that much since last year. I know
mm.
obviously KD and Kyrie kind of set that foundation for for them to actually make the playoffs. I know they dipped off a bit,
Yeah.
but you've got your core pieces there that I really think you've got championship caliber players on that team. So
Mm.
I'm really looking forward to seeing them play there. I don't know. I said the Pacers were my league pass pick, but I also think the Nets are kind of up there too.
Yeah, they're gonna be great to watch.
Yeah. Next up, I think we should do the Raptors. I think
Mm,
went through a bit of a weird kind of transition from Fred VanVleet. Didn't get anything back for him during the season when kind of everyone knew that he wasn't going to stay. So a bit of a mistake on their end. But realistically, what are you really going to get for like a 30-year-old 6 foot point guard that isn't amazing? Like I know he's really good, but he's not
mm,
like a superstar dude.
mm,
Um, Yeah, MVP, I'll go on Pascal. I feel like that's kind of obvious.
mm,
I feel like he'll get traded during the season because I feel like Toronto will go into a full rebuild.
mm.
Um, but yeah, who's your? I can't really pick anyone else. I really don't
Yeah,
know
it's
who else.
Pascal. I was considering putting Scottie Barnes because I think he's gonna have a great season, but I put him as my
Yeah,
impact player because
S-
of how multifaceted his game is, or rising
mm,
star. Like I think
yeah, yeah.
he's got every he could get all my awards for me, but yeah,
Oh
he,
yeah, same. Yeah, I've got OG as my impact. I
yeah,
feel like he's going to get much more of like an offensive load now that Fred's gone. You've seen glimpses of it. He can have 30-point games with a snap of a finger.
yeah,
Um, he's shown it in years past. I really thought he was going to get traded during the season, but they obviously decided to stick with him. Rising star Scottie Barnes, another kind of player that gets a bigger role, and I feel like he's going to really flourish. We know what he can play with. We know how he can play. Sorry, I've gone 42. I feel like that's a huge stretch. Like I feel like they might not even get to the 40 mark, but I don't know.
Yeah, I still really believe in their big like lineup, like working. Like Scottie Barnes is like playing the 3, OG at the 2. And I think
Yeah.
Dennis Schroeder like perfectly complements this group. They have a really,
Oh
really
yeah,
solid
true.
bench. Gary
And they
Trent
got Dick.
Jr., they got Grady Dick, they got Precious
Let's
Achiuwa,
go.
they got Chris
Yeah.
Boucher. Like they have a really solid bench. I love their team. They do remind me of the Clippers of a lot of like decent players, but it's like you do kind of need a really focal star. And I wonder if it's worth putting a couple of trade pieces together like Pascal. It would have been perfect for Pascal and Fred to go and actually get a real superstar, like a James Harden would. I think he would fucking go
100%.
crazy with this lineup of the length that they have, guys who are really willing to run the floor. They do have shooters. He would go crazy with that lineup, but that's neither here or there.
Yeah.
But I say 43 max. I love the lineup and I still think it can all work. It's just whether there's enough room for each of these guys to grow. Like Pascal's probably reached his like ceiling. Scottie Barnes is yet to get there and OG is yet to get there. So you're like, okay, let's see where we can, like, who do we give the ball to? Who do we prioritize? So interesting season ahead for him without a focal point guard anymore. But no, I'm excited for them. I say 43 max for me. I'm like around the same year, like 40 minimum, like, or 40 is like what they're probably going to get. But
yeah, you would think so. Yeah, nice. We'll go Knicks next. This is a good team. I'm really excited for this season. I've gone high on the wins, gone all out on the Knicks this year. Yeah. Jalen Brunson, 24 and 6 last season. I expect those assist numbers to go up. I'm not sure about the points. I think 24 is kind of where he would sit. Obviously, he had those huge games kind of near the later the later stage. Wow. The later stage of the season. Yeah. The later stage of the season. I feel like an RJ Barrett trade is on the table, depending if they can actually get anyone.
Yeah.
And potentially Julius Randle in the same package. If you're trying to get someone big, like I don't think a Dame Lillard trade would kind of work. I feel like you've already got your point guard.
Yeah.
But maybe like even like a James Harden seems a bit out of the. Anyways, I don't know. I just feel like they still have a few small moves to make. I feel like RJ's not that guy. We've discovered that he could go to a different team and completely go crazy, but we haven't seen it in New York. I'm assuming you've got Jalen Brunson as your MVP as well.
Yeah. I can't really put anyone. Yeah. I love how you're so skeptical of what I'm gonna pick.
Well, sometimes you have some like outlandish picks that like last week you said Alec Burks and I was like taken back. Oh no, who was the other one? Haywood Highsmith.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. I'm telling you.
I was taken aback. I was taken aback.
I got Brunson.
Yeah, cool. Impact player, I've gone Dante DiVincenzo. This is my signing of this offseason, man. The signing of the offseason.
Yes.
Is that yours as well?
No, I had Josh Hart because of everything he provides for a team. Yeah. And they kind of got that. Brunson and Hart have that chemistry. And that's always good with your star player. But yeah, I'll put actually DiVincenzo as my rising star because I think he's still got a higher ceiling to get to. I think he can play like a kind of like a J.R. Smith type of role. And I hope that he, like, I assume they're going to finish the game with him because you're starting Quentin Grimes. I would like for them to finish the game with DiVincenzo for his defense. Point shooting, hustle, athletic ability. But yeah, fucking love that signing.
Yeah, best signing not best signing, but one of the best of the offseason. Rising star, I've gone Quentin Grimes. I feel like he had glimpses last year of kind of where you can kind of see him next season. I think he's probably going to have a big off season leading into a big regular season. And yeah, he'll probably start. You would think like it would probably go. You would probably have Hart and DiVincenzo to lead the bench unit.
Mm.
And then they'll probably keep RJ and Quentin Grimes and all those guys. Yeah, I'm kind of couldn't really pick anyone else. Like it was, I already had DiVincenzo for my impact player, so I went
Yeah.
Quentin Grimes. He's really good defender, can shoot the lights out most of the time.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm really keen to see what he can bring. I want to know what your wins ceiling is.
I'm gonna say 50 regardless, like not ceiling or floor. I'm gonna say 50. Um, I think
Okay,
I
that
think
kind of
this is
surprised me.
a great season looking ahead for them, regardless of a trade of an incoming trade.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
if even with the trade, I feel like they just got this energy going about the Knicks. They have a guy that they really trust in Brunson. They've brought Hart in, who loves being there. They've got young pieces that they're working on. A good bench, like
Mm.
like Emmanuel Quickly's there, who's great. Yeah, I'm gonna say 50. What about you?
Well, I had 46, right? But I don't know. Kind of after hearing you, I feel like maybe I could stretch it to like a 48. I feel like they had, I don't know how many wins they had last year. I would think like
45, I
44,
think.
45. So you've
Yeah,
probably improved a little bit on last season. So I'd say like probably 46 to 48 range.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, they have
but it's also
47.
weird. Like but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's like they have a dip or
Yeah.
they have a massive season. Like it's because they had that year in 2021 when they versed, no, 2021 when they played Atlanta
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
when they versed
Yeah.
Atlanta. They had that big season and had that big drop off, and then they've had this big season last year.
Mm.
So it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. But yeah, I feel like I don't see them scraping the 50 mark. I just feel like that's really hard, kind of in any NBA season for because they're not like a crazy good team. They're not mid. They're like in between both.
Mm.
They're kind of like the Heat, which is weird because Heat were just in the finals.
Yeah.
But but yeah. We're gonna save Lockie's team to last. If you don't know, Lockie's a Sixers fan. RIP. Um, we'll go with the Celtics. I feel like this one's pretty like quick. This won't take too long. I've gone
Mm.
Jason Tatum as my fuck. I could not get the words out today. I cannot get the words out today. Fuck. Jason Tatum as my MVP. I'm assuming that's who you got. I don't have no left
Yes.
hand
I've
Jalen Brown on
got
my team.
popular action actor Jason Statham. I mean,
Yeah,
Jason Tatum.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah,
Easy.
yeah. Nice. Impact player. I got Chris Stapps. I feel like he's going to bring a lot to that team. I'm telling you right now. I know your face is like, what is this guy talking about? But
Yeah.
I really feel like it would be Marcus Smart. It would be Marcus Smart if they
Yeah.
didn't trade him.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Chris Stapps, elite shooter, can fit alongside my rising star in the front court, kind of push Jason Tatum to the 3 spot where he should be playing. But yeah, who's your impact player?
I got Derek White or
Yeah, nice.
Malcolm Brogdon. Yeah, you were waiting, huh?
Yeah. I thought you were going to
Peyton
say Jalen
Pritchard.
Brown for some reason. I don't know.
um,
Yeah.
nah, I think yeah, Derek White has really proved himself over the years
Yeah.
and like so solid out there and not afraid to really like some role players who play that gritty role just pass it. He's not afraid to take it himself
Mm,
and be
yeah.
be that guy. I put Brogdon as well as like an impact player, but definitely Derek White. Who was your rising star? You said it was in the front court. No,
Just
it
want to
was
say, impact players. Like, I feel like a lot of players on the Celtics are impactful. Like,
yeah.
they have all these studs that just come in and do the job.
Mm.
Rising star, I've gone Robert Williams.
Oh wow, okay. Deep defensive player of the year
Yeah.
type vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of the same field as Nick Claxton. I feel like
Yeah.
they're both kind of similar in the ways they play. I feel like having Chris Stapps stretch, being more on the perimeter, and having Robert Williams kind of be that rim runner, kind of elite inside dude. I don't think he will get much scoring, but I mean, like he's still there.
Mm.
But yeah, I've gone him. Interested to know what you pick though.
I got Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, okay.
I think he's good. I was waiting for a reaction. No, he'll definitely get more minutes because Marcus Smart is out of the rotation.
Yeah, I feel like that.
He's
Yeah,
going
could
to,
be the
and
case.
he incredible shooter, great scorer, a very hassling defender. Yeah, I think he'll
Mm.
get more opportunity to shine here. He's been in the roster for a bit, so he's become familiar, and he's come on and made big plays when they've needed a shooter. So
Yeah,
he's he deserves to be there, and I think he'll him and Brogdon off the bench will be a very very good pairing. Um, yeah, and I'm saying they're having a dip because I think Marcus Smart brings a lot to it.
yeah,
I say 50. I think they have like a decent dip, just 50 on the dot, or like maybe just above. I just
yeah.
don't know how things are going, and I know that. Oh no, I wouldn't. No, I would say Jalen Brown's like a locker cancer. I wouldn't say. I just more just think there's a bit of tension.
He's just trash. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, there's just a bit of tension.
Yeah. I still think a really good season ahead, but nothing that gives me an idea that like they're going to do anything insane. You can account
Yeah,
for Jason Tatum's going to continue to get better. Um, Al Horford is on the roster, so you never know.
yeah.
Um, uh,
Nice.
he is the goat. But yeah. What
Yeah.
about you?
I've got 56. I didn't really take into account Marcus Smart, but now that I've remembered that Marcus Smart isn't there anymore, I'll probably go like 52.
Yeah,
I still feel like they'll have a big year. I feel like they've kind of replaced the shooting of Marcus Smart with the shooting of Kristaps, which is weird.
yeah,
But I feel like Kristaps is a better shooter. I feel like they'll still have Brogdon as that perimeter threat.
yeah,
But like Brogdon and Derek White both bring the defensive capabilities. They just don't. I don't think they have the intensity or like. It's weird. Marcus Smart's like the heart of that team, and you traded away the heart of your
mm,
team. So I feel like that can take away a few wins. I feel like they won't have that same energy. But I mean, I wouldn't be
mm,
surprised if they did. It's kind of weird. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm expecting a big season.
Yeah. I'm not so sold on Kristaps there because of like just the difference between what Marcus Smart brings to a roster compared to Kristaps,
Mm.
and like I would say he doesn't have as
Yeah,
much care. Like yeah, like sorry, you're seven
yeah.
three, and you're still trying to shoot over people.
You
Um,
don't post up ever.
the fuck.
Yeah,
He frustrates
100%. I know
me
what you
because
mean.
he should be like 25 plus point scorer. He should be rebounding
Hmm.
more. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and should be more aggressive defensively. So I would like to see them really turn him around and like get him. I don't even look at a statistic, just an impact standpoint. Him
mm,
being the unicorn, that's his whole thing. Fucking, he needs to have a much better season and a much more intention in this season. I want him to
yeah.
actually give a shit instead of being in Washington and being okay with losing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like he'll be a completely different player this year.
yeah, okay,
I really feel like he will. Um,
mm.
Sixers, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, let's
You can go.
fucking go. Obviously MVP, Embiid. Um,
The
impact player,
MVP of the league.
impact player I found
Sorry.
hard, but I think Tobias Harris. It kind of sucks because of what's recently like been airing out, and he addressed all the rumors of him being traded and like went at the Philly fans. But I do think he's a good like locker room presence. Like any team he has gone to, he has been solid on. He frustrates me because he's so inconsistent, and yeah, he's streaky, I guess. But I think he's a
Yeah.
great addition to any team. I would like to trade him at the same time. Still very undecided. I love Tobias Harris, but I think what he gives to this roster and just the energy he has and how versatile his game is, he is great. What about you?
So I've obviously gone Embiid as my MVP. Impact player. So I feel like I don't know if you forgot about him or not. His name's Patrick Beverly. I feel like this dude is going to be an absolute fucking menace. And he's
Yeah.
going to turn. I'm telling you right now, this guy's going to have the Marcus Smart impact on the Sixers. The way that he
Wow.
can just contribute to winning. I know he doesn't put up the stats, but this team needed a dog,
Yeah.
a fucking dog, and they've got a dog.
Yeah.
Um, I also put down another impact player because when they trade this man, my rising star is going to have a fucking monster year. Impact player is James Harden because when they trade him, Tyrese Maxey, my rising star, is going to turn into an all star. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
impacting like
I
the
like that.
next person.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey, this dude can average 25, 100%. He's going to be an all star if they trade James.
Mm.
Expect big things from not only Tyrese Maxey, but I feel like the Sixers, this is their year.
You
This
reckon?
is their year.
I'm
Could
excited.
be. Could be their year. Yeah. It
I
could be
like. I
that they
like.
might actually not. They might actually beat the Celtics.
Yeah. Wow. Um. I worry because like there's obviously a cloud surrounding James Harden again.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what. Um. I mean, I got Rising Star Maxi. Yeah, he's the future of us. I love how we've got D'Anthony Melton still. I think he brings a
Yeah.
lot. Pat Bev, yeah, actually is a really good signing, getting a bit of a dog into the roster. Someone to fucking get
Yeah.
angry at Embiid, I think.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Um,
Accountability.
and Pat Bev has played with Harden, so hopefully that respect is still there. Um, yeah. This you hate this, but I think having Furkan Korkmaz, I think him getting more minutes. I think he's a fucking beast. He gives me
No, he's a weapon. He can score. He can
he
score.
can score, bro. He's a good passer. If you actually watch games, he's actually
Yeah.
fucking
No.
solid.
He
He
gives
can
me. He gives me like Peja Stojakovic vibes, but if you got Peja Stojakovic off Wish, so it's
yes,
like the same
essentially.
kind of thing, but
Essentially.
yeah.
But I think he can play a really solid role, being not only being that like last pass for a shooter, but he makes the right pass. He can be
Yeah.
like a bit too out there or too confident or too, yeah, I guess too risky sometimes. But like I think he's
Mm.
a solid piece off the bench. I would love if we got Nerlens Noel back as a defensive,
Mm.
just fucking rim runner off the bench because I don't know who. I think he's with Detroit at the
You've got
moment.
Mo Bamba, I think. Mo Bamba's off your
Did
bench.
did
So
we?
yeah, bro. The whole franchise is changing.
I had no idea. Oh, I got hosed. That's crazy.
I got it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if Mo Bamba has a healthy year, I don't know, maybe he could do something for once. I feel like okay, I've gone 52 wins. I feel like that's not crazy. Is that what you
Mm,
got?
I got 55. I do expect a good year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expect a good year. I feel
Yeah.
like people are underrating the Nick Nurse head coach pickup. Like
Yes.
no one
Yes.
actually
Yes. Yes.
no
Yes.
one's talking
Yes.
about it. He's an NBA
Yes.
champion. I know he's different to Doc Rivers in the way that he's more of a player's kind of coach. Um, and yeah, I feel like that's going to be a massive contributor to kind of winning. And he's definitely more team oriented. So I feel like you might see a regression in Embiid's numbers and kind of be more focused on the team. Because even when they won that chip in 2019, like Kawhi didn't have like a insane like numbers year,
Mm.
but like you know they won the chip that year off the back of Kawhi in the playoffs. But I feel like regular season, yeah, I feel like man, that shit's gonna go crazy. It's gonna go
Yeah.
crazy.
No, it's a
Yeah,
actually a really good signing. Hopefully, it manages the egos of Harden and
yeah,
Embiid, which I think they actually play really well together. So, but I guess
yeah. I
accountability
agree.
wise, becoming a more we environment.
Yeah,
Because Embiid immediately after losing, just started to kind of blame people around him or just be like, oh, not enough help or whatever.
it's what he
Um,
does.
just fucking annoying. Oh my god, if a mindset tweak would just be amazing for that man.
100%.
Anyway, but no, yeah, definitely good season for the Sixers. I think this is probably the best division in the East.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
Yep.
good to break it down. Anything else we want to
Yeah.
smash out? Because we've got the West coming out.
No, we've got the West next week. We'll probably start with maybe the Northwest to start, because I feel like, again, Southeast and Northwest are probably the two more not so much happening in that division for both conferences, respectively. So we'll do Northwest next week, Southwest, and then we'll end it on the Pacific Division, which is probably the biggest one, I would say, in terms of entertainment value. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Love doing these as always with my boy. But yeah. Let's wrap it up. See you next week.
Roll. Latest.
Let's rock and roll.
Man, I don't know what to say. That shit stank, don't it? Ugh.